Hey everybody, this is Brandon Ramsey from the construction crew. Going to go ahead and voice over this video just because it's a little bit longer than our typical videos, and I figured like 13 minutes of raw footage might get a little boring, so I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit. I'll explain some of the workout, and then I might just talk about a few random things if it starts going a little long. On this day, me and Chip were doing 5 sets of 3 on the deadlift. I started at 335. Chip, who is getting ready to compete in a deadlifting competition, or powerlifting competition, he's doing the deadlift on October 12th. Looks like he started off at 455 for his first set of 3. He's hoping to set a state record at the 198-pound weight class. He's about 204 right now. We're trying to cut down his weight. I guess we have, like 4 weeks left, 5 weeks left, somewhere around there. To drop those extra few pounds. Here is me doing my second set of 3 at 355. My deadlift has gone through the roof recently. Just like a couple months ago, I was struggling to get 335. I had switched to a double overhand grip for a few months, and then I just recently went back to doing the over-under grip. I also had been doing deadlifts at the end of my back day for a long time. I've done that for probably a year. So just about a month ago, I did deadlifts fresh for the first time in a long time, and I ended up pulling 455 at about 180 pounds. So that became a lot more respectable than when I was struggling to get 335 up even once. Here's my third set. Looks like I have, 385 on the bar. Pretty good reps. I need to work on keeping my butt down a little bit longer and driving through the legs a bit more. I have a tendency to stand up a little too soon, but like I said, I'm really just focusing on deadlifts again for the first time in a while, so I should keep seeing strength gains and some better form. Here's Chip at 475 for a pretty good set of 3. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does at his competition here coming up. I think he has a chance to do very well. Here, look, yeah, I did one more set at 385 before going for my final heavy set. Like I said, my deadlift keeps getting better, but you can really start to notice here as I'm standing up a little too soon. But overall, I think it looks pretty clean. So yeah, I'm definitely happy with the progress I've seen there. One thing that Chip has been working on recently, and you'll see here in this next video, is driving through his heels a little bit more. He has a tendency, he does this on his squat as well, he kind of gets up on his toes, which, there's a chance of injury there, but even more importantly, at least for what he's trying to do with powerlifting, you're losing some strength there. If you drive through your heels more, you can pick up a little bit more weight, and he's getting a lot better at that. You also will see that we use 2 different deadlifting styles. He's more the, what people call the conventional deadlift, with feet just about arms width apart. I've started doing more of this sumo deadlift stance where you spread your feet almost as wide as the bar is, and then I keep my hands in pretty tight. And it's just personal preference. One's not necessarily better than the other. One's not necessarily any stronger than the other from our experience. It's just a personal preference. Here's my final set of 3. I got up to 415 pounds. And that was a great day for me, seeing as how that's more weight than I could do once, even just like a month ago. So switching up the order of my lifts and going back to this over-under grip has definitely made a big difference for me. Here, Chip's doing his final set at 505. We didn't feel like fighting to throw another 45-pound plate on there, so we just have 2 25s on the end. And I only put the first rep on here because the second rep got a little ugly, and the third rep he actually failed on. But he did get one pretty clean rep, so wanted to go ahead and show that. After we deadlifted, Chip went ahead and did some pull-ups. Did about 3 sets of 10 to 12, and I'll see in a minute what I ended up doing next. I actually forget as I'm watching this. Oh yeah, I went to dumbbell rows while Chip was doing his pull-ups. At the gym we'd been at over the summer, we had up to 120-pound dumbbells there. We have 150s here at school, so hopefully we'll be able to mess with some heavier weight here in the next couple of weeks as we continue to gain some strength. Here's me doing, I think these are 120s. I did 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps for the rows. And this is an exercise I've really liked doing. It's great for that lower back width, and it's a good accessory lift on your deadlift days. And the next clip will be Chip doing some more. Alright, I screwed up the voiceover there for a second, so sorry for the brief pause in the talking, but I'm back on it now. Here's Chip doing his last set of pull-ups. He likes going with a wider grip. Again, this is another personal preference type thing. He goes with a really wide grip. I like doing a double underhand grip and going a little bit closer. I feel like that gets a little bit more lat activation, but he obviously has had great results from it. Here he's doing a seated row, and you can see the lines coming in his shoulders there. Looks pretty good. Like I said, he's been cutting weight recently. He was up to about 215, and he decided he wanted to do, at least for his first competition, he's going to try to do the 198 weight class, and then probably build back up and work at the 220 weight class for hopefully when he's at the Junior World Competition in Las Vegas in 2014. Here I'm doing unilateral pull downs. Just recently I've really started doing a lot of my back lifts unilaterally. I really like the contraction that you can get when you're just focusing on one side at a time, especially for any lat movement. Like for seated rows, I'll do one arm at a time. For dumbbell rows, I'll do one arm at a time. Any type of pull down that I do, I like to do one arm at a time. Like I said, it's just it's easier to contract and really focus on that muscle when you're just pulling one side at a time. Here we're back to Chip doing another set of seated rows, getting up to 200 pounds, I believe. I guess this would be a good time to just kind of talk about each of our goals. Chip's always been one. He's more just about pure strength, which he certainly has plenty of it, and you know he's more about just moving big weight, not necessarily about the aesthetics of how he looks, and he even is fine with compromising some form just to pull that weight and try to build big solid muscles. Whereas I've always been more one who's in the aesthetics of it. I like to look good. You know, I try to stay pretty lean. I want to keep ab definition in there. I don't necessarily. I recently probably more just because I'm working out with Chip more and more. I've kind of started to enjoy moving weight, but I've always been one more just looking for aesthetics and trying to, you know, use the proper form and contract the muscles a little bit more. So those are just kind of our differences in how we lift and our goals for lifting, but you know, overall it's mostly the same things that are going to help us reach our goals. It's going to be progressive overload, continuously trying to do more reps or more weight or both in order to gain strength, gain size, and continue to add muscle. Here's Chip. He's using an underhand grip here, doing some lat pull downs. This is a slightly different machine than the one I was doing, but it's essentially working the exact same muscles. And I believe it's a 100-pound plate on each side, doing like 8 to 10 reps. Again, for the most part on our back days, we do 3 or 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps typically, except for deadlifts where we're obviously focusing a little bit more on strength, so we'll keep the rep ranges quite a bit lower. This is a member of the construction crew. You might have seen him in our leg press video from a couple of days ago. This is Kevin Peddicord, a sophomore crew member. He also plays baseball. Like I said in the leg press video, he has really gotten a lot stronger recently. Here he is doing 10 reps, I believe, at 185 pounds in the front squat. I was really impressed with his form and his strength on this. Having not seen him squat in quite a while, he's certainly made some pretty big gains. And you also see him doing lunges a little bit later in this film, but for now I'm going to go ahead and hop off this and just leave the rest of the video as just raw footage. And if you have any questions, you're always feel free to email either Chip or I. Our emails are always in the description box. Make sure you share the video, like the video, and you know, just keep spreading fitness throughout the community. If you enjoy our videos, you can also like our Facebook page for more information about the construction crew. And for now, we will just see you guys next video.
Come on. Good. Let's go. Good. Come on. Good.